Software bills of materials, or SBOMs, are becoming something that organizations need to deal with, but for devs, they aren't exactly the most practical way to track the dozens of transitive dependencies pulled in by each of your NuGet packages. Still, SBOMs aren't just busy work, since auditing each dependency will save a lot of headaches during security reviews and when regulatory compliance is required. So today I'm going to cover the following: what's an SBOM, why you'll need to use SBOMs with your NuGet projects, creating an SBOM in pgutil, ProGet CLI tool, and SBOM best practices. A single NuGet package can pull in dozens of transitive dependencies, each with its own versions, licenses, and potential risks. An SBOM is an inventory that lists every component in your software, including all packages, their dependencies, meaning you know exactly what's in your project. An SBOM helps answer key questions: what's in our software, where did it come from, and is it safe to use? Without an SBOM, tracking what's in your software is kind of like trying to remember every ingredient in a recipe after it's been cooked. But SBOMs aren't designed to be read by devs. Instead, you'll be asked to create them to comply with external regulators, kind of like a tax form, with recent government policies meaning that accurate SBOMs are increasingly becoming a requirement. And I'm going to link to some of those in the description below if you want to take a look. So I've already talked about SBOMs and what they do, but at a technical level, what are they? It's pretty simple. An SBOM is usually an XML, JSON, or YAML file that lists all components, versions, licenses, and dependencies. And as you can imagine, these can quickly get out of hand. Something like Microsoft Entity Framework is going to bring in a bunch of transitive dependencies, each with its own version, license, potential vulnerabilities, which is a big part of what makes SBOMs important, since it's often the packages that you don't add directly which carry risks. But you don't want to be the one listing all of these out by hand. A handmade SBOM might work for smaller or experimental projects, but in these cases, you're not really going to need to make one. Actually, for anything real, and when you find yourself in the position of needing to create and manage SBOMs, you're almost always better off using ProGet. ProGet's SBOM features are good if you're looking for something more comprehensive to help you create and read these files when you're asked to. It works with NuGet to automatically scan all your packages every time you build or release, gathers all the details, and stores everything in one place, making it easy to track what's in your software. It also offers built-in software composition analysis, or SCA, helping you identify security vulnerabilities and license issues for any packages listed in a project's SBOM. This makes it a great choice for orgs that want to maintain up-to-date SBOMs, taking the heavy lifting out of developer hands and automating the process. So it's all much more straightforward. Right, so you might not need SBOMs, but some regulatory org will. So here's how to actually generate SBOMs for your NuGet projects using ProGet. So SBOMs can be generated as part of the build process using pgutil, ProGet's CLI tool, and the pgutil build scan command, which audits components. So before you generate an SBOM, make sure that you've built your project so that all dependencies are restored. And here's mine, an internal web data tool project. So now all I need to do is add my ProGet instance as a source in pgutil using my API key. And that is going to look like this. And now that's done, what I'm going to do is use that build scan command. So with this command, I'm going to need to reference my build name and my build version. And that's going to look like this. And so if I run this command, it's going to capture all the dependencies in this build, even the transitive ones, and upload a lightweight SBOM to ProGet. So here you can see all the packages in our build, and what ProGet's going to do is fill in the gaps with extra details like licenses, vulnerabilities, author info. Checking everything against your organization's policies. So now that we know what SBOMs are and how easy it is to create them with ProGet, here's a few tips to effectively manage them so the headache isn't as bad when you're asked to do so. So keep them up to date. Dependencies change all the time, so regenerate your SBOMs whenever packages are added, updated, or removed from your projects. Integrate SBOMs into your workflow, treating them like any other artifact, storing them in CI/CD pipelines so they're always available and versioned. And merge SBOMs when multiple ecosystems are involved. So for example, if you have a NuGet backend and an NPM-based front end for a complete accurate inventory, and yeah, ProGet can handle all these tasks automatically. So I hope that this SBOM demo was useful, especially since SBOMs are becoming more and more required by regulators. And for further info on how you can get started with SBOMs today, make sure to check out our articles on SBOMs in NuGet and our ProGet SBOM docs linked in the description.